Hello and welcome to this live coverage of the FFA Cup Round 4 here on Bar TV Sports. My name is Isaac Naruzzi. I'm joined by Matt Nicoletti. Matt, big game, Canberra FC versus Brindabella Blues. Big game for the Blues.
It certainly is, and I'd say it's usually whenever you see these games and you see the team that would be in NPL 2 or state or Capital League, now it's NPL 2. It's always a bigger game for them. Except today, I'd say, considering Canberra FC's disappointing start to the season, being down by their bitter rivals Olympic 3-0 on the weekend, I'd say this is probably just a little bit of a bigger game for them.
Yeah, it's a strange one, isn't it? Because going in, it was match of the round. It was heavily hyped up, and the Canberra FC didn't really perform, and they'd really want to get some confidence back here.
No, they certainly will, and on a cold, chilly night at Deakin Stadium, I'm sure with their home faithful here, I'm sure they'll put on a performance that they'll be proud of.
Yeah, a lot of the people that are here are actually watching it from inside, and you can't really blame them. It is quite chilly up here in the stands. People are slowly starting to pile in as we lead up to kick-off. Brindabella, on the other hand, had a rough start to their own season, losing 4-1 to Western Molonglo. But they'll be looking to hopefully get some confidence back here as well. I was speaking to some of the people in their management team before, and they said that look, they're not gonna be too negative, but they are going to sit back, they are going to play on the counter, and they're trying to shut out Canberra FC for as long as possible, and then maybe hit them on the break. They have some hope.
Well, that's the point, and with these sort of games, especially for teams in NPL 2, they really want to prove that they can hang with the big boys in Canberra football, and to be completely honest with you, you need to have that confidence. If you it's all well and good if you sit back on the counter, but you need to have the confidence that you can go out there and win. And considering how it's only the start of the season, there's no reason why Brindabella can't believe in themselves to get a result here today.
Well, we're about 2 minutes away from kickoff. We'll very shortly be able to see what Brindabella's going to do. Brindabella's journey to the fourth round was very, very interesting as well. They played Narrabundah in round 3. They were down 3-0 and came back to win 4-3 in the second half. I think they scored one last goal in extra time early on. Just a brilliant comeback, and it showed that they did have heart and they did have spirit, but you can't imagine they can afford to go 3-0 down against Canberra FC. No.
They're just too dangerous. They are the reigning champions for a reason, and like I said, they'll be looking out for everyone, and they really have a point to prove after their disappointing start. So they are probably going to be deadly today.
And we see more and more people starting to pile in next to us as well. I'm surprised they're not going on the other side. It's a bit more shelter on the other side. It might be not as cold, but they're braving it.
The wind is blowing into our face on this side where the camera is. So I'm very surprised that people are coming on over here.
Well, I mean, they look a lot warmer than we do right now.
Yeah.
They're enjoying some nice, refreshing beverages as well. I'm sure will keep them warm. The trackies are out, the jackets are out.
Exactly. You know what? I think we should enjoy this weather, really. Give it 2 more months when it's deep into the season. We are not going to be enjoying We're going to enjoy the weather a lot less than we are now.
No, we saw some of the players out here on warm-up before. They're all wearing their gloves and their beanies, a few of them, so they're warming up. And, well, it looks like we are just getting ready for the teams to come out. And, well, while they do that, we'll go through the team list, starting off with the home side, Canberra FC. Luca Ujda, the manager, has put out a team lining up in the 4-4-2 formation. Goalkeeper Sam Brown starts. Back four of Brunskill, Keir, Gresper, and Lucas. 4 in the midfield. Colbertaldo and Graham will be the midfield 2, Walters on the left and Giampaolo on the right, front 2 of Barach and Uganic. They'll both be looking to get on the score sheet. Unfortunately, no one's been on the score sheet yet so far this season for Canberra FC. They did lose 3-0, but they'll be very, very confident they can rack up some goals and get some confidence up.
I mean, it certainly is a strong team, especially when you've got Uganic, who's been one of the top scorers for the past few seasons for Belconnen United, and won them helped win them the premiership in 2017. And then, of course, you've got Colbertaldo lining up for his new team this season in Canberra FC. Players starting to make their way out now, and I think we're going to be in for a good clash today, Isaac.
And Brindabella Blues, the away team, are also lining up with a 4-4-2 formation. At the back, they got Matthew McDonald will start in goals, and then just working their way down, Afiabo, Alexandro, Ridley, Saravallo, Gunther, Hurst, Lawrence, Ruiz, Schaefer, Taylor, and Jonathan Toole. If you missed any of the names, you might be able to hear the announcer on your end. repeating them for us. Very nice.
Number 6, Brian Hare. Number 12, Lucas Moragas. Number 9, Jason Ugrinik. Number 7, Matthew Waters. Substitutes for Canberra FC. Number 19, Nikola Yardley. Number 16, Jordan Lamb.
What do you think of the Brindabella kit? They look like the Socceroos, don't they?
They certainly do. It's a really nice kit this season. Very interesting, just one stripe, one yellow stripe instead of the several stripes.
I do like it. I mean, from a distance it can look like they're wearing neckties, but I think it's a nice kit up close.
Number 2, Spencer Apiabo. Number 8, Dylan Alexandria Ridley. Number 13,
We're moments away from kickoff. Shooting from right to left will be Canberra FC, Brindabella from left to right. Some final preparations from the players. A couple of them look a bit cold. I don't know if they warmed up enough.
Number 7, Zach Lawrence. Number 1, Matthew McDonald.
See, Lucas looks cold. Just down there in the left wing.
Number 15, Jamie Taylor. Number 11, Jonathan Toole. Substitutes for Brindabella. Number 12, Zach Cossettini.
The officials just taking their place. Brindabella will kick off.
Goalkeeper Zachary James. Number 14, Jacob Leonard. And number 10, Samali
So it looks,
coached by Jeremy Butler.
looks like Taylor and Toole will be playing as the front two.
Our assistant referees Alex McConaughey and Liam O'Rourke. And in the middle, refereed by
I really like the Canberra FC setup. They're proper professional, aren't they?
Oh, they certainly are.
I mean, you can tell they're a team to be taken seriously.
Always have been and always will be. I mean, it's even better now with the setup that we're on now. We are
Brindabella
underway.
kick off. Early pressure from Canberra, forcing them backwards. Just playing it at the back, trying to find that space, because one thing that Canberra FC do really well is keep their shape. Looks for the long ball. Oh, it's almost a glorious ball there. And it's very, very well defended, headed back to the keeper. And now immediately, Lucas running down the wing. Takes a heavy touch, but it still breaks for him. It's Gunther, the defender there, he just didn't commit to the tackle. He looked like he was going in a bit too soft, and he just couldn't get enough on it. You know, if he went in a bit stronger, he could have knocked the ball out. But they weren't punished for it this time.
Indeed, good pressuring from Brindabella, though, I must say.
But you can see they're dropping deep. They're almost playing with a back five. Lucas takes the ball out wide. He has one waiting in the box. They opt to go backwards and start again. They can afford to be patient in this game.
No, I can, and I think we are going to see that play out here. Cobbletalo with the pass. Brindabella defender standing tall there.
Graham and Giampolo seeing a lot of the ball early on. Things that seem to be working through them. And they're also playing the ball out wide. It's a good ball. Keeper comes out and wisely lets it roll out.
Looks like they're trying to play the through balls. They certainly have the speed up front and the know-how. It'll be interesting to see if Canberra still use that tactic to get past the Brindabella defence in the early stages.
Now there is one more fixture left in round 4. That is Woden Western versus the White Eagles. That match is just about to start. They're awaiting kickoff, and we'll be sure to keep you updated on that as well. Just as Brindabella win the ball in midfield. Long balls over the top seems to be the plan early on. Canberra FC win the throw. You can see they're clearly working for the counter-attack. I mean, that's just clear foul.
You're going to see Brindabella probably being a little more aggressive than Canberra FC. They're going to try and put them off their game.
They are playing with a black back five, aren't they? The wingers just dropped out back to come up with to work as another left back, and I can tell you they're not playing with wing backs. They are playing a pure back five.
Just very pure.
And then they're looking to hit the ball over the top and hopefully get the player isolated one-on-one with the defender, or just like couldn't release it early enough. There's a poor pass into the midfield and a good through ball to Barak. And Barak does well to win a corner. Brindabella seem to have quite a big team, so let's see how they are defending from set pieces. Maybe a set piece would be their best option up front as well if they can get there.
I'll tell you what, considering the
The
last
corner
game
was played short.
tell you what, considering the last game we watched, I'm glad to see we got Brindabella have 2 people marking the post.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was an interesting one. It was the Tuggeranong United versus O'Connor Knights, and O'Connor played really, really well. They gave a good account of themselves, but where they really let themselves down in that game was in their defending of the set pieces, particularly from corners. They had just gaps all over the place. There was zonal marking, but not tracking their right players. It wasn't the greatest, but they scored a cracking free kick. It ended up 4-1 in favour of Tuggeranong. It could have been more, but at the same time, O'Connor with just some stronger defending could have got something from it. But it looks like, as it stands, there is only the one NPL 2 team in the next round, and that is ANU FC, who defeated the Riverina Rhinos 3-0.
The current NPL side, very impressive win by ANU right there.
They are the champions of the Capital League, as it was the last season of the Capital League. As Brindabella moved forward, he just couldn't get the ball to drop for him. But they can. They are, Canberra FC have to show them some respect, otherwise there could be some issues there. I think he saw Barrack was offside and opted to go the other way. It was clever.
Beautiful little triangles being played here by Canberra FC. Brindabella just standing firm there in defence. That's definitely what they have to do tonight. Let's see if they can stay on top of it.
Well,
Interesting challenge. Oh.
Well, they want a penalty. I don't think they're going to get one. There's no way.
Brindabella faithful aren't happy, but
There's no way.
Unfortunately for them.
Well, he seems to go on the ground. Well, I think that's 3 slide tackles in space of about 15 seconds.
I mean, when you're in that position, you're the attacker and you're going for the slide tackle first, you're always going to expect that reaction.
Well, it's good ambition from Jamie Taylor. Bit of a poor touch there, but that's going to happen. But yeah, Taylor with a good chance so early forward, and he did win the ball fair and square on that slide tackle. Just couldn't get in front of the ball and get a shot away. But we're actually seeing Brindabella getting in behind them on the counter attack. First chance of the game, first clear chance of the game goes to Canberra FC. It's a header that nearly went all the way over the bar. We were speaking about ANU before. I think Brindabella's next game is against ANU. They play them at I think they play them on Saturday at 3 o'clock. Canberra FC next week. On Sunday actually, they have their next game. They play Tuggeranong at Greenway at 3 o'clock. That game's live on Bar TV Sports. You can catch the action there.
Very big week for Brindabella.
Tuggeranong looking to get their first points on the board in the league, but right now what they're looking to do is defend a possible ball into the box. Ball's just had a bit too much weight on it.
But Brindabella attacker there just a little too flat-footed.
Oh. Erginich came up deep. He's playing up front as a part of a front two, and he came back very deep. I think it's the Brindabella fans to the right of us.
Christopher Ruiz there for Brindabella.
Must be the away end.
Christopher Ruiz there for Brindabella, man, that defence. A lot of experience.
Oh, he's having a crack from distance, and keeper managed to read it the whole way.
Ruiz is going to be crucial tonight for that Brindabella defence. He needs to use that experience and marshal his teammates.
Yeah. Zach Lawrence with that long-range effort just before. I mean, it's the first chance on target and it went to Brindabella. A lot of the movement from Canberra has been coming down the wings.
Yeah, I was about to say that. It's very interesting. With all that experience in the centre, the Canberra trying to aim for these wings. And it's all coming down the right-hand side so far this time around. We'll see if Brindabella try to shore up that left flank. Or their left flank, should I say.
Well, what they're doing at the moment is they're doing pretty well to actually try and not so much control the midfield, but flood it a little bit so that they can't go through them. They are going to have to go around them. That's what they're trying to do. Well, that's a wonderful ball. The shot is blocked.
Just
Some
classic.
good last-ditch defending there, but they can't get rid of the ball. And again, they need to be very careful because they've got to continue to soak up pressure.
Brindabella with just the classic get your body in front of the ball. Don't let them shoot. And so far it worked for them.
Graham goes out wide to Moragas. He doesn't take the play. Oh, it's a wonderful save. Unbelievable. Oh, my goodness. McDonald with an absolute, it's just a beautiful cutback. He got plenty on the shot, and it was McDonald's save that tips the ball over the bar. They still got more to do. They have to defend a corner, but that was a phenomenal reflex save.
Beautiful shot, beautiful save. We are really seeing some quality at the moment.
Just a bit too much on that from Waters. I think he thought maybe been going for a through ball or... which I'm not sure what he was doing. Now Brindabella have a chance to relax a bit. They have to go down the middle. It was flooded by 4 players, but Brindabella managed to keep the ball. A lot more pressure being applied by Canberra FC now. Before they weren't pressing as high, and now they really are, and forcing the mistakes. Just absolutely swarming them as soon as they get the ball. Graham. They go out wide again. Back drops back to receive the ball. He's not getting it yet. Graham might go himself. Graham does, and it's over the bar. There's some good movements from the centre forwards.
No, it certainly is, and they really aren't finding any space in the centre. So you're going to expect Canberra FC to keep switching it out wide to see what they can get.
Well, McDonald urges everyone to go forward. Doesn't look like he's going to be playing this one short. Just get the ball upfield, see what they can do.
And why would you when Canberra in this pressure
it's headed
zone
on twice and cleared back forward. Well, it was well played on. Moragas down the left-hand side again. Ergenich. They'll have to go out wide again. It's in those areas where they're going to have the most success early on, it looks like. Oh, that's a wonderful ball, but linesman flags for offside. Another save by the keeper, though.
Just let you guys know, 10 minutes gone in Woden Western versus White Eagles, and it is still 0-0. Out at Woden Park.
Is that Woden Park? Thought it was meant to be at Melrose, but they might have moved it.
Now has he got the background there.
Oh, there you go.
Jump with the ball out wide.
Oh, Graham was just caught on the ball there, but the referee gives a free kick, and Luganic automatically goes and stands behind it. They ought to play it quickly. Graham's ball into the box, finds his man, and oh, it's just wide, but once again the flag goes up for offside. Some good football being played by Canberra FC. Brindabella are holding out. Looks like Brindabella have referred back to their 4-4-2 formation. Well, he had the right idea there, but not the right execution. We could see Lawrence down that right-hand side ready to make the break as well. He thought that ball was coming to him, but they opted to go to Toole instead, and he couldn't find his man. Meanwhile, Canberra back on the attack again. Another cutback, another shot blocked, another corner. This time play is tracked for the short corner. The corner was a decent one. They managed to clear it away. It is Taylor. He wasn't able to turn, but and once again, Brindabella just can't break. They can't get the numbers there in time, and now they're going to have to be forced to defend once again. It's just, it looks like it's going to be a long night of defending for them, doesn't it?
It certainly is, but if they can pull it off, I'm sure they'll be glad with the way they played.
Well, so far they are doing okay, and that ball goes out for a goal kick.
Moraga seems to have plenty of space down his left-hand side. I think he is going to be key in this matchup. Canberra seem to be playing triangles, always down to Moragas down the left-hand side. I wouldn't be surprised if their first goal comes from this side. If they get one, of course.
Well, he's playing as a left-back, and he's getting forward quite a bit. I wouldn't mind seeing him as a wing-back, actually. He seems to be going up and down very, very nicely. Canberra obviously go to the middle this time, and that's well one back. They're a bit braver as well, Canberra, it seems like.
Certainly a beautiful challenge from Colbert though. He just orchestrates play there in the deep line.
Oh, that's a rocket!
Unbelievable.
Where did that come from? Unbelievable. I think it was Ugrinic with just the absolute rocket. The keeper seemed to see it late. He didn't really react until it came towards him.
Scored by number 9, Jason Ugrinic. Canberra FC 1, Brindabella Blues 0.
That was absolutely incredible. I'm still in shock. That just came absolutely out of nowhere. Wonderful strike from Jason Ugrinic, and that looks to be his first of many this season.
Well, Brindabella looked to come forward quickly. It would have foul after that one. Ugrinic with an absolute cracker. The keeper would be disappointed with himself as well. I mean, I'm not sure if it was one that he could really save, but he did seem to react very, very late. He wasn't really expecting it to dip when it did. It was just an absolutely pure strike of a football. And after all the way they defended, they're going to be really disappointed to concede from that.
They surely will, but you can't really blame the keeper there. That was just an absolutely wonderful strike. Came out of nowhere. Even the crowd were just sort of silent at first because
next thing you know, it was in the back of the net. Yeah,
they didn't know what they just saw. Even the Canberra FC fans were just sort of, oh my god, amazing goal.
Kind of didn't know it was going in until it went in. It was almost like a last-minute dip. Well, now this time he's placed it through. He's got a goal. He was looking for the assist there as well, but Barrach was unable to get the ball around the defender. Well, Canberra FC can afford to just slow the pace down now. They've got their goal. They can calm the game down. And to get it in the first half means that they're no longer going to be panicking later on in the game. They're still chasing a second. And they go from distance again, but this time it's blocked. They started off with a 4-4-2 Brindabella. It looks like they've shifted to a 5-4-1. They did go briefly back to a back four, but that was when they conceded the goal. It looks like, well, foul was almost given there. Referee played advantage, but brought it back when it looked like Brindabella were away.
Whole lot of arms there, not a lot of ball from Brindabella.
If you just joined us, it is 1-0 to Canberra FC. The goal came from Ugrinich. He scored from some distance. It didn't look like it was going in until it went in. The keeper looked to have seen it late, but yeah, I'm still not completely convinced that that the keeper couldn't have stopped it. But
Very interesting.
I mean, from where I was sitting, it looked like it went at some speed, but I'm not sure if it. Upon reflection, I'm not sure if it really did, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's just everyone was in shock from it, so no one more so than the keeper.
No, exactly. And like I said, I think it would be pretty harsh to say he could have saved that. It was like we said, it was just an absolutely freak strike out of nowhere. Not many keepers would save that, and especially with that sort of dip. It's very hard to predict that, especially as a keeper.
I mean, I think it was a harder, easier one to save than the one that he actually did save in the first half from that distance. That was just a freak reaction. I think that was just instinct. But I think he's going to be a bit more on his toes now.
As a Brindabella midfield should have been just then.
Well, there's a lot of hands happening now from Brindabella, looking to make the game a bit more physical.
Moragas is terrorising the left-hand side.
Graham's pass is poor, but it almost breaks for them, and it's a poor clearance. Graham will get another go. He made his way into the box briefly. So Graham was supposed to hit it, and it's a good save. He didn't have to go very far to make the save, and he couldn't get his hands on it, but it did come at him at some pace.
I mean, after a goal like that, Isaac, I think you're going to see a few more shots like that like Graham just did then for Canberra FC.
That's a good ball. The ball's cut back, and they do well to actually keep it in and clear it rather than let it go out for a corner. Oh, that's a poor touch. That's really disappointing.
Jordan Lamb will be very disappointed with himself there. He probably would have fancied his chances down that wing.
It was Jamie Taylor, Matt. Jamie Taylor.
Yes, that is definitely true. I was reading the wrong team sheet. My apologies.
They're not going to get many of those chances, so they can't really afford to let them come off like that.
No, like I said, Taylor would have been disappointed with that, and he definitely would have fancied his own chances. He looked like he had the speed for it. Unfortunately, didn't have the
touch. They're going on with another ball, and keeper was on his toes. So far, he hasn't had much to do, Sam Brown, but I think he'll be happy to get a touch on the ball then.
No, he certainly hasn't, and I'm sure he's going to be colder than the other keeper over there, but at the end of the day, you're not going to be too fussed, are you, when you don't see too much action when you're a keeper? Keeps your heart rate down, your heart pressure down, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Blood pressure, sorry.
In the other fixture between Woden and the White Eagles, it is still 0-0 20 minutes into the game. Whereas here at Deakin Stadium, it is 1-0 to Canberra FC. As they look to make it 2. Ball comes across and there's a few bodies there and blocked again. They get another crack. Graham this time and it's wide. Shot statistics seem to be piling up for Canberra FC now. Some very decent last-ditch defending from Brindabella, but they don't want to be last-ditch defending.
Yeah, they're feeling the pressure now, Brindabella. They're going to try and look to compose themselves now, try and keep the ball, try and slow down the rhythm of play, disrupt Canberra FC. Unfortunately for them, they lose it immediately.
And the wind is starting to pick up as well. Could play a factor when Brindabella are playing their long balls. Oh, that's a wonderful pass, but Barish just couldn't find his feet.
Beautiful stuff from Walters there.
He's just had a little bit too much weight on it, and Barish couldn't get there or get around it.
Waters, sorry, not Walters. Oh, I'm getting a bit too cold up here now. I'm mispronouncing the names. My apologies.
It's given away again. They're just going to continue soaking up pressure. And I wouldn't be too surprised if Canberra FC nab a second before halftime. Defenders getting a couple of touches on the ball as they played around from the back. They have space down the left wing. They have to go down the middle, and it's good football, but Brindabella do well there defensively. And go down the right-hand wing themselves. He's got one player in support. He's very careful not to drift offside. The ball wasn't released early enough. Oh, he had another play coming down the left wing, but he didn't switch play. I think he's just held onto it a bit too long, but they've done very well to keep it, and eventually nothing comes of it. They have to release the ball earlier. They can't really afford to play around with it for too long.
You have to take your chances when you're Brindabella. Those are coming more few and far between as the first half comes to a close. The coach won't be too happy with the end of that piece of play right there.
Well, just when they do get the ball in Canberra's half, they need to keep it. I think it was Taylor that was just muscled off the ball. He stayed down, but it looks like he's going to be okay. Meanwhile, Canberra move forward again. Well, I think that's a yell of frustration there. Who was that?
Can't see from here.
I think it was Gianpolo.
Yeah,
well,
yes,
it was.
It certainly is.
It was. He was really, really frustrated with that. He might have a crack here, and that's well over the bar. Maybe that's some of that frustration keeping in.
He certainly does look to be getting even more frustrated.
I mean, his team's up and they're playing well.
I think
he was just disappointed in himself in that pass, and then.
Yeah, sorry, I was about to say it's certainly just a personal thing. You see it all the time, especially with players at training. Every time that they're not happy every time they make a mistake. They just want to absolutely perfect their game, which is definitely understandable.
Well, that's what you want as a coach as well, don't you? You want players on the pitch that want to do well, but. And I guess it's the good way of showing frustration. You know, some players show frustration by going in harder in tackles and maybe getting themselves sent off, and that's a wonderful play down the right-hand side from Brindabella.
Lawrence
and a wonderful turn as well. And they play it out the wing. Oh, that's a mistake. Oh, my goodness. Oh, no. A defensive mistake there from Canberra FC. But it was Taylor just could not capitalise. I don't think he expected to get the ball there, and he just kind of threw his left foot out there. It was a rather weak effort, and keeper manages to get down, and that was a golden opportunity to come back. They really should have sunk that one.
He was 3 seconds too soon, Taylor. Everyone will be very disappointed with that. Unfortunate for Brindabella. You just feel like that was the moment, didn't you? If Brindabella were going to score, that was it.
Yeah, especially in this first half. But we know that they can get there down that right-hand side, and it was a very, very, very impressive play. Zach Lawrence was showing some wonderful skill just to start it.
Like we've been saying most of the game, Moragas is very
Oh, no, it's a
high.
defensive error there now. And he opts to try and chip the keeper, and I mean, it looks like from our angle that it might have been close, but I think that it wasn't really. It wasn't a bad effort, but maybe he would have been better off. Just it was 2v1, and he had support, so I mean, he did back himself. He had a crack, but it's not meant to be. And that's two very, very good chances for Brindabella in very quick succession. You have to think the Canberra FC just falling asleep a little bit in the back. I mean, Graham's their central midfielder, and they look like they've got two at the back at the moment. A lot of their players have moved forward, especially the left back and the right back have gone down the wings. They're almost playing with a back three now.
Well, I was about to say, with Moragas down the left-hand side, it definitely opens opportunities for Canberra going forward. However, that is going to be counterproductive, as we saw with those last two chances down that left-hand side, down Brindabella's right. I think we're going to see a few more opportunities from there if Moragas continues to stay up. Yet again, if Canberra keep the ball, it doesn't really matter, does it now? So it could be counterproductive.
Brindabella need to release early. They have a single striker, and
Beautiful stuff
once
from
again, Lawrence. That might be his trademark move.
They need to break now.
And it's too much weight on the ball. It's straight to the keeper.
I feel like Brindabella should have broke right there. They keep opting for the long ball.
Well, it's kind of what they have to do now. So there's such a big gap between where the midfielders have the ball and the forwards.
Their best chances, though, so far this game is when they've run completely down the wing and they've broke and then crossed it in instead of putting it through a long ball. So,
well, there's a long ball for Canberra, and it's a good one. Oh, Lucas did well to get there. But, looked like he got there, but Lanson puts up his flag. Barak. Graham. There have been some good footballs, but there have also been some really sloppy moments. Brindabella wouldn't have foul there. It's a pretty obvious one, but it feels like, I mean, Canberra FC are clearly the superior team, but they're just not really at their best. It feels like a few of their pluses have gone astray. They've gone back to their 4-4-2 shape, and yeah, like we were saying before, Brindabella's passes just, I mean, that was awful. You can't really be doing that.
Well, don't forget the season's only just started as well. It's going to take some time to get into the rhythm, give it about a few rounds.
Yeah, they might do, but they train with each other all the time, and they've had 2 games already. I think this is Canberra FC's second competitive game of the season. First one didn't go too well, and Brindabella's third. The first one, they let in 3 goals before they came back to win 4-3, and they let in 4 against Western Molonglo in round 1. And they cut out the ball there. But, I mean, it's a pretty positive performance from them. They're not being too negative. They're not sitting back. They are attacking when they get the opportunities. So, man, you can't be too upset with them at half-time. And, you know, they are clearly playing a much superior team, but just a few of the passes have been a bit too wayward. They've had some good chances as well to get ahead, and when Canberra FC have fallen asleep. It's going to be something that they can work on in the training ground. Canberra FC go chasing a second. I mean, now that they've seen Brindabella break and Brindabella come close, they're really going to want to find a second to actually feel that comfort.
Under 10 minutes until half time. Let's see if Brindabella can come up with anything here, or will Canberra FC extend their lead?
I think 1-0 going into half-time for Brindabella is a good result. If they can keep it that way. Barak puts a ball into the box. Keeper comes out and meets it very, very well. Looked to release early, but decides to hold on to it and wait for his team to regain their shape. As Afiabo wanted it, he made quite a long run to get there, but once again the pass was poor. And the other problem that you have with that is when you have players, especially your defenders, making runs up forward, trying to work on the break, they really are using a lot of energy, and because they're going to be defending a lot, you have to imagine they're going to be absolutely knackered by the end of this game. Those Canberra FC's defenders, unsurprisingly, look a lot fresher. Had a lot less to do. Oh, that's a wonderful ball. But be careful not to give away. And finds the bottom corner.
Beautiful strike.
Lucas Moriagas. He's been really, really active down that left-hand side. I think he's probably been one of the hardest workers on the pitch. He's seen a lot of the ball. He probably deserved that goal, and he'll be happy to get it. He's and with just over 7 minutes to go till half-time, it's a good time for him to score.
Now, look, Moragas really deserves that. He's been incredibly active down this left-hand side, and he's definitely created a lot of opportunities for Canberra FC, and it's good. And he'll be happy that he can contribute with a goal. He's been incredible this game.
Absolutely, it was his cutback that Barr actually found the back of the net with. It was not that unbelievable save, but that seems like an eternity ago now. It's 2-0 Canberra FC. Brindabella have had their chances, but now they've got to be careful not to let them go away with this one. They've come back once before, but we were saying in the pre-game, it's just coming back against this team is going to be a much, much more difficult task. And seemed like a late challenge, but the throw-in is the decision. Well, interesting, Moragas is actually playing as a left back as well, so getting forward, getting back, running a lot, putting in the effort. I mean, for me, so far, he's probably been my man of the match.
I definitely would agree with that. I've been very impressed with Moragas today.
I wonder if his performance will actually make the manager think about playing with a back three with him as a wing back.
It certainly is, because at times it's more like a back two here, when they haven't had too much of a challenge.
Oh, that's a late challenge. And, well, the referee opts not to play the advantage, even though Canberra FC are away, but they do have a player down. And if it is a head injury, which hopefully it isn't, no, he's up. It's okay. He's going to be okay, but I think the referee maybe thought there was a head injury involved there, and that's why he stopped the game. It did look to be a bad one at first, but
Barrett seems to be walking fine now.
And he's
did seem like a hefty knock though, Isaac.
It was, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a yellow card. I'm not sure if that's... No, it doesn't look like he's going to send the player off.
Well, he did go to the ground very quickly. That impact was just... definitely would not have been soft.
Although Canberra FC were away, and it looked like they were going to bag a third. They still have a chance to. It's Hurst who got the yellow card for Brindabella. I mean, he's a big boy too, so that would have really hurt.
Just to give you a quick score update. Western Western and White Eagle still 0-0. 35 minutes gone, 10 minutes left there. Just under 5 minutes here. With Canberra FC in the lead, it'll be interesting to see what the Brindabella coach... it'll be interesting to, figure out what the Brindabella coach would be saying to his team going into half-time. I guess you would tell him to just stay composed, wouldn't you, Isaac, at this point?
Well, let's see what happens, but Jean-Paul as well goes out. But yeah, that's probably it. Maybe just a bit more tidy on the ball. The opportunities are there if they can take them. But, you did see them just have two really, really good, clear opportunities back-to-back. If they had taken them, then, that's 2 goals. It can turn that quickly, but obviously that's easier said than done, and Canberra FC will learn from those mistakes. We'd imagine they've learned from those mistakes and not those opportunities come again, so they're going to be few and far between. But we see Brindabella committing more and more men forward. They're playing the front line of 4. But you might as well go for it now. You're 2-0 down. You're away from home against the champions of the National Premier League. Why not just have a crack?
What do you have to lose if you're Brindabella? Poor ball there from Ruiz. Couldn't find Lawrence, way off the mark.
The hand up of acknowledgement from Zach Lawrence. I can never really tell if that's ever sarcastic or...
Guess it depends on the mood of the player.
I guess it depends on how good the ball was or how close it was. Some good football by Canberra FC. Giampolo goes down the middle, looks for the 1-2, but it was well read. And that midfield has just got 1, 2, 3, 4 Canberra FC players. No one there contesting the ball. Everyone's back for Brindabella. Graham. Lucas Moragas, the goal scorer. One of 2 goal scorers. Back to Graham. Brindabella try to press, but not getting anywhere near the ball. Giampolo. To make a driving run. He does very, very well. Oh, shots blocked there. Giampolo looks to be in the mood.
He certainly does, and he'll be looking to...
He looks like he wants to score.
No, I'm sure he does.
Moragas can't get there.
Especially after he had a really good shot. One of the first clear shots for Canberra in this game.
There's just under 2 minutes left in the half. Brindabella down by 2 goals. Canberra FC, both goals were quite good. One of them rather surprising. The other one, a wonderful piece of play by Lucas Moragas, sliding the ball into the bottom corner. Brindabella have had chances of their own, but haven't quite been able to. Moragas only got a second. They haven't quite been able to just capitalise on them, and anywhere will do right now.
Need to see more of that from Brindabella in defence. That was terrific bit of defending, just rough and tough.
Well, they need to hold out just for another minute as Canberra continue to pile on the pressure. They're very, very confident at the back. It's just 2 people holding down the fort. That's for Brindabella. They just want to hold out till halftime. Get in there, regroup, and come back, hopefully looking like a different team. There's Moragas. Oh, he's fouled, and it's a penalty. It is a penalty. Well, you're always going to be at risk of that. Moragas is a skillful player. He's been trying to shred players down that left-hand side all game, and
this just epitomises how much of a terror he has been down that left-hand side. Giampolo looks to try and get his goal here. Let's see what he can do.
Well, he's been chasing that goal, so now he's got a good chance to do so. It is Giampolo against McDonald. We just hit 45 seconds. It's Giampolo. Who's not a bad dive from the keeper, but he slots the ball into the bottom corner. And Canberra FC lead 3-0. And unless there's a significant portion of stoppage time, which I don't think there will be, looks like 3-0 is going to be the score going into half-time.
Giampolo with the 3 C's there, cool, calm and collected. Just buried it in the bottom right-hand corner. That is exactly what you want from a penalty taker. Terrific penalty right there. Canberra 3-0. It's over now.
Well, McDonald dived the right way, and...
Sorry, I meant the first half is over.
McDonald dived the right way, and the ball was right in the corner. It was a wonderful penalty.
Great interception there from Brindabella.
It was. And they look to just have one more attack before the end of the half. It's a good ball. Oh, he just couldn't reach it. But it's not over yet. Lawrence to bring the ball back in. It was a good piece of defending there.
Very positive play, though, from
Giampolo
Brindabella.
looks to bring the ball back the other way. He's got Barrack on his right. He finds him. Defender gets a touch on it, but can't get there. The ball rolls all the way through from Moragas. They're a lot quicker as well, aren't they? It's Graham.
Lawrence just flat-footed there. Waters beat into the ball quite comfortably.
Back to Graham. And just slowing it down, taking their time now with this attack. Barrack.
That was a positive piece of play there, though, wasn't it, from Brindabella?
It was.
Coach will definitely be saying, see how very quick that was, one touch triangles right there from Brindabella, forcing themselves down the line very quickly. I'm sure the coach will intend them to do more of that in the second half.
Well, there's positive signs there, and more importantly, I mean, no one was really expecting them to win this game, but there's positive signs against just for when they go back into the NPL2 competition. They play the leaders. They play last year's champions, ANU. ANU didn't have a great start. They lost 1-0 to the White Eagles, who are actually playing now. It's still 0-0 in that game between them and Woden. But so they've got a decent team there, and they've got a decent game plan, and they can do something about it. But just right now, they're being outclassed, and they're not taking their chances, and they're giving away a lot of chances, and Canberra FC are going to take a few of them. You know, it's 3-0, it could be a lot more, but with that said, Brindabella could also have a few as well.
Well, they have nothing to lose in the second half now, currently 3-0 down. It'll be interesting to see if the Brindabella coach comes out with a back five or he decides to change it up a little bit just to...
Well, it started off as a 4-4-2. They reverted to a 5. They've gone back to a 4. Once again, those triangles. Ball down the middle, but there's no one there to meet it, and it wasn't the greatest ball. But they've been in this position before as well. I mean, in the third round of the FFA Cup, Brindabella were 3-0 down, but unfortunately that was against Narrabundah, who finished to bottom of the Capital League last season, and not against a team like Canberra FC, who are the champions. They're literally on the complete opposite end of the spectrum. So not a team that you want to be 3-0 down to, but they've shown they can come back. Whether they will against this team is another story, but I mean, if they do, it'd be one for the history books. And it's football, never say never. Stranger things have happened.
Interesting, Reeves didn't decide to just clear it out there. He tried to
play it out. That's half-time. Well, a decent first half, especially if you're a fan of the home team. I mean, they started off very, very strong. It was a phenomenal save by McDonald to deny Barrack early on. And from there, we thought that maybe the keeper was in the mood, but Uganic had a cracking shot, find the back of the net. It was seen late by the keeper in a bit of a late dip, and I mean, he'll be really, really disappointed with that one, but from there the floodgates kind of opened as Moragas, who was terrorizing down the left-hand side, got a goal of his own. He cut inside, found the bottom corner, and then also was the man who won the penalty, which Giampolo put away for 3-0, and that was late in the half. The score at half-time, Canberra FC 1, Brindabella Blues 0. Welcome back to Bar TV for this coverage of the FFA Cup Round 4 fixture between Canberra FC and Brindabella Blues. Second half is about to get underway. Canberra FC will be kicking off from left to right, and a good first half for them, a 3-0 lead, comprehensive. Brindabella were down 3-0 in their other game, but that was against Narrabundah. They came back to win that 4-3. If that's to happen here, it would be absolutely astonishing. But it looks like Canberra FC can maybe not let their foot off the pedal too much, because Brindabella did have some good chances. They had 3 really, really good chances back-to-back, all of which they probably should have put away, but you'd have to imagine that Canberra FC are feeling pretty good about this lead.
No, they really should be, and it truly would be the magic of the Cup, wouldn't it, if we see some sort of comeback. In saying that, though, it'll be interesting to see if Canberra FC, are they going to go straight for the jugular and go to fourth, or are they going to sort of just, dictate play, knock the ball around a bit, just sort of slow the game down and just sort of pass the time. It'll be interesting. Also, would have been interesting to hear what the Brindabella coach had to say to his team. Is he going to go with a back 5 again, or is he? It looks like he is with those 3 standing right in the centre. It'll be interesting to see if they're more proactive, Isaac, because they have nothing to lose, don't they? They have nothing to lose.
I mean, you might as well go for it and see if you can get a positive result out of it, a feel-good factor. Who knows what can happen? That's the nature of football. It is getting rather cold as well, so you'd think they'd want to run around a bit more. I mean, it's getting a lot colder than it was 45 minutes ago, and I think that people listening will be able to hear it in our voice. It is absolutely freezing, especially where we're standing up here.
Up in the high rises.
Yeah. A good view, but I'll kill for a heater right about now, Matt. Colbert Aldo. Moragas, I think he ran a bit too far. It's a goal kick.
Doesn't look like Canberra going about it any differently. Their fullbacks are way down the field, still trying to terrorise the Brindabella defence. They are clearly going for a fourth, Isaac.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, why wouldn't you do that? Especially if you're one of if you're the left back or the right backers. I mean, the coach put out a back 4 to begin with. It looks like they are playing at the back 3 at the moment in the wing backs. And if you're those wing backs, why wouldn't you? All the joy is coming down the flanks. We've seen Moragas already get a goal and win a penalty as well for his side. So there's no reason why they shouldn't just go for a couple of more, get that confidence factor, get their shooting boots on. As long way. Oh, there we go. That's goal number 4 for Canberra FC. It came very, very early. And was that Giampolo again?
It certainly was.
So Giampolo gets his second. He scored a penalty in the first, and I mean, it was a little bit debatable whether or not the first one was a howler, but that one definitely was, and the goalkeeper puts his hand up and apologises to his defence. But I don't think he was really expecting that shot, but he really should have done better there. And I mean, if we didn't think a comeback was unlikely before, it's probably really, really unlikely now. Giampolo with his second goal. And now just as soon as the second half started, it's 4-0. And it could be a lot more, especially if the heads drop from Brindabella.
The keeper certainly will be disappointed with himself there. Not the way Brindabella wanted to start this half. Still insisting with that back 5, Brindabella.
Yeah, but I feel like it's more of like a natural thing of dropping deep rather than a plan. I mean, it feels like they're just doing that to get bodies back more so than actually play with a formation of a back 5. Whereas with Canberra FC, it looks like, the back 3 with the wing backs is kind of happening as a bit more of a thing, a bit more of a coherent plan. But, once again, that could just be because they're getting all that joy down the flank. So they feel very, very comfortable with their left and right backs to push forward like that.
Canberra not holding back. They're looking for a
and
fifth.
There's Brunskill on the ball now. Giampolo. He's on a hat-trick now. Barrach can't find a way through. And Brindabella look to clear, and ball is being chased by Taylor. It's good defending by Gresper. Gresper and Kiria haven't actually had too much to do. You see when the ball does go back there and they play out from the back, they're kind of passing it back and forth through a little bit, just get some touches on, maybe keep warm.
Indeed, and considering it's still very early in the season, the Canberra FC coach will be, I think he would be glad with the fitness of his current crop of players at the moment. They're always winning. They're always the first to the ball, whether it's defenders or the attackers. They always win.
Well, there's Giampaolo. He's on a hat trick. He has his hat trick. It's 5-0.
Once again, Giampaolo with the 3 C's, cool, calm, and collected. Terrific strike in the bottom left corner.
FC, number 10, Dominic Giampaolo.
So Giampaolo
5, Brindabella.
scores his 3rd, Canberra's 5th, his 3rd in a row. And I mean, what's that in the space of 6 minutes, if you include the end of the second half? He's scored 3 goals. It's been a pretty good 6 minutes of football for him.
Certainly has. Horror, though, for Brindabella. They'll just be thinking, what do we do now?
Well, he was originally built to play as a left midfielder. It looks like he's kind of gone forward into the front two. Maybe Barrach is also on the pitch. Maybe drops back into the midfield a bit more. But yeah, he looks like he's playing as a front two with Ugrinic, who scored the first goal. He also scored from distance. And Barrach seems to have dropped back. Maybe he's dropped into his left mid position.
Substitution for Canberra FC coming off, number 22, Daniel Barrach, being replaced by number 19, Nicola Yardrich.
Well, Yardrich has actually come on for Barrach, as the announcers just said. So Barrach is off, and that's why Giampaolo's actually gone to play as a striker. Brindabella with a rare attack, and it's disappointing. Just caught in 2 months there, and his teammate didn't know what he was going to do either. And of course, in the corresponding fixture between Woden Valley and the White Eagles, the second half has just started over at Melrose, and it's still 0-0. Ugrinic. There's Waters with some good play. Giampaolo. Another shot from distance. Keeper manages to get behind it and knock it back for a corner kick.
Cracking strike from Cole Bataldo. Yadrich seems to have, who just came on, seems to have, well, it's a bit hard to tell now because there's a corner, but it did seem like he was going out wide, so you
it looked like he was playing in the right mid position. So there's been quite of a shift in formation for Canberra because it was Giampaolo playing that area before, and it was Keir with the free header in the middle, and he just couldn't direct it on target. Everyone seemed to have stood still. Brindabella defence falling asleep, but couldn't direct it on target. Almost 6. Well, Belcon United beat Western Longlow 5-0, so far that's the biggest scoreline of this round. Although you'd probably put your money on Canberra FC to beat that, maybe even here. There's Ugrinic. Goes down the right-hand side. He's looking for support. He finally gets it. Shot from distance, and he just sliced it outside of his left foot, and it goes well wide for a goal kick. And Canberra FC getting ready to make their second substitution.
Substitution for Canberra FC coming off, number 21, Daniel Bataldo, being replaced by number 3, Daniel.
So Cole Bataldo comes off in a change for Subasic. Canberra FC making their second change and immediately on the attack. It's good defending by Brindabella. Get the ball clear, and although just absolutely no joy. They've had hardly any of the ball in this second half so far. Almost 10 minutes into it. Offered nothing going forward and just been really, really disappointing in the back as well. I mean, we thought they might come out swinging, but it looks like they just have resigned themselves to defeat, really.
That substitution there for Canberra FC to take Colbertalda off seems like a sensible one. They've clearly got the lead, and he was injured at the end of last season, so he doesn't want to be given him the full 9. He just wants to, keep pacing yourself once you've come back from an injury like that.
And he played well as well. He saw a lot of the ball, got a few touches, got to find his feet together, and
he certainly has been a prominent player in the Canberra NPL for a very long time, Colbertalda.
Moragas, Gianpaolo, and
comfortable save from the keeper.
Straight down the belly of the keeper, he held on to it. Just having no joy, they take the ball forward. Canberra FC players are all over them. And you have to give Canberra FC credit too, because they're not playing like a team that's 5-0 up. I mean, they're playing like a team that's 5-0 up, but you wouldn't know it. It looks like they're really still chasing forward, looking for more goals. And it looks like there's going to be a third change made. Not sure if there's injuries.
Within the space of 10 minutes, they've used all their subs.
Yeah. There's some Aiden Brunskill that comes off. I'm not sure what the story behind that is, because it feels like they've really used up all of them.
Number 17, Aiden Brunskill, being replaced by number 13, Christian Patezina.
So Patezina comes on, slots straight into right back.
We'll see if he plays as far up as Brunskill has.
Well, right now they're behind, and he thought he might have a crack there, but I mean, he really worked hard to try and get the ball there, but there was too much weight on it. I think maybe they would have been better off just having an effort. At this stage, I think that once they get into those positions, they might actually just be better off having a crack at goal and testing the goalkeeper out, because, I mean, trying to play it forward really just isn't working for them. They're not finding the feet, and Canberra FC either reading their plays or getting all the loose balls, which there seems to be a lot of.
Gianpaolo certainly has stolen the show so far in the second half, not just with the 2 goals, but he's dropping deep, trying to create play.
Bresber and Kier playing a bit of a 1-2.
There's
Waters going up the midfield. Finds Yadrick. Graham. There's Gianpaolo again. Offside flag goes up. The keeper would be relieved for that one. He couldn't hold on to the ball, and he did have a defender there behind him ready to clear, but I think he'd prefer to take the goal kick. God, it's freezing, Matthew.
I'm sure the keepers are feeling it the most, let's be honest.
Yeah. I think you can hear it in our voice with a little sniffle going. Brindabella playing out from the back. It's probably the longest spell of possession that they've had this half. Yeah. They did well to keep that one in. A bit of power behind that one, and they switched the play again. Another good ball. But a loose touch there allows Canberra FC to get back on the ball, and they do well to keep it. 2 men going into the box. Moragas. Lucas Moragas looking for his second. It is blocked for a corner. Canberra FC have a chance to make it 6. And credit to Canberra FC, they're still going for it. They're giving the viewers something to watch. At this stage, people, the game is well and truly over. And you can see that too. I think that Brindabella is kind of just counting down the minutes now. Should almost be a mercy rule in place, eh? 7-0, like in ping pong.
I didn't even know that was the case in ping pong, but I was about to say, when you count down the clock when it's 30 minutes, it's going to be, it probably seems like an eternity for the Brindabella players at the moment.
Oh, it's well carried with the keeper.
Credit to the keeper.
But to be fair, I don't think it's professional ping pong. It's just the rule that me and the friends play. You'd be surprised at how often it happens. Mainly to me.
Actually, that isn't a surprise.
Waters. Gianpaolo can't keep it in, and he's worked really, really hard. He's got his goals. I mean, he was really, really frustrated in the first half. We saw him throwing his hands up in the air, having a bit of a yell, and I mean his mood certainly changed, and why wouldn't it? You scored a hat-trick now.
I was going to say, you rarely see the best players not being very angry at themselves. They always want to look for perfection, and he certainly has found perfection for himself in this matchup.
You got to feel for Jamie Taylor in this game as well. He's trying to be chasing everything, but he's not just been able to get there. He's received hardly any service, and when the balls do come his way, they've either got too much weight on them, or they just can't seem to find him. He also doesn't seem to have that physical presence either that the Canberra FC defenders have. Once again, going down the left wing. Graham. Jadrich.
Protection.
He tries to take on the player and loses out to him, but it's not going to prove to be detrimental as Jadrich moves forward again. That's the thing, they've just got players there on the line ready to clear. And the cut back. And Ergonich hits it over the bar, and probably should have hit that one on target. Is that a corner? Is that what the call is? It is. So they must have taken a deflection on the way out.
Would have fancied his chances there, though. Ergonich.
Yeah, it was. It looked to be a bad miss from where we were standing, but looks like it has taken a deflection and gone out for a corner kick. It's an in-swinger. And it's a clear free kick. Climbed over the player. But the Brindabella fans to the right of us, they're trying to keep behind their team. It's gone more from optimism for their team to heckling the other one.
It's only natural though, isn't it? Let's be honest. You're not going to be happy when your team's down 5-0.
No, when you're 5-0 down, I mean, I don't think that the tactic of putting off the Canberra FC players is working though. Or maybe it is and there should be 10-0 up, who knows?
It would just be like, sort of like, just flies at the moment.
Yeah.
The Canberra FC players just buzzing. They'd just be buzzing right now. Loving the way they'd be loving the way they're playing. Still moving forward. They're not stopping. They want that sixth.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Moragas. He couldn't get it to. He couldn't get it to Kier in the box, and Kier's very, very high up for a centre back.
Well, when you're 5-0 up.
Yeah. Well, he nearly scored as well. He had that free header and couldn't quite find there. That was a good touch, but no one was there to take it. Now Jadrich.
Moragas has been a bit quiet.
Ergonich.
It's been a bit quiet this second half. It's all been about Gianpaolo.
Oh. I mean, the other thing for Canberra FC as well is they're coming off a 3-0 loss to their rivals on their home ground. So I think they're just really, really keen to get some confidence back, restore some pride. And I mean, this game probably came at a very, very good time for them.
Very well done from Protection right there, except for that back pass.
And oh my goodness! Brindabella have a goal, and you can hear their fans are very, very happy about it. It was an awful mistake at the back that led to the goal, but Brindabella, they look more likely to score in the first half, and they managed to get there. I think it was Jamie Taylor. He has had chances in this game, not taken them, but he took that one, and Brindabella now have their goal.
Well, despite the decisive lead, Isaac, I think obviously Protection will be very disappointed with himself there because he did very well to regain the ball. Unfortunately, that his back pass did not go the way planned. It's just a very... he will not be happy with that, the new sub.
Where's Gianpaolo looking to... Gianpaolo looking to penetrate down the mid, penetrate the fence right away, and he gets blocked off the ball. And I mean, it was a challenge that he had to make, and pretty lucky to escape without a yellow card. Canberra, so it looked like that really annoyed them, actually. If you look at the way they've come out now after that goal, it looks like they were just more than anything annoyed at themselves for letting one in, getting rid of their clean sheet, and looks like they got a chance for 6 though.
Well, as they say, champions never stop. They're always hungry. They always want more, and they definitely will not be happy that they are down a goal despite their decisive lead. The Brindabella faithful were quite happy with that goal, and they weren't very happy with this call from the ref. However,
well, I mean, although it was a very obvious one.
I'm just reporting.
Rogic from distance. Oh, it deflected and went over, so it is going to be a corner kick. That deflection nearly put it in the back of the net. And just before the corner is taken, we'll update you on the scores in the corresponding picture on the corresponding fixture. 58 minutes in, Woden have just scored against the White Eagles. It is 1-0 to Woden. 59 minutes played in that game. The corner kick almost finds its way in, and it's Jamie Taylor.
Bit of a belated announce for the Brindabella goal here, but the Brindabella faithful were happy.
Well, they've announced it as Curtis Schaefer as the goal scorer, and I mean, I thought it was Jamie Taylor, but some confusion in there. I mean, no one expected it to happen anyway, so they think they're just still in shock of that mistake. It's not something that you really see from Canberra FC, but
no, it was so.
But we have seen that they are capable of letting in soft goals, as we saw in their first game of the NPL.
Looking to redeem
he
himself.
skips the challenge and just rockets that over the bar.
He was determined to redeem himself there, Peteshina, after that unfortunate back pass. Fortunately, didn't get his shot on target.
It was a wonderful run, and he just leaned back when he took the shot, got under the ball, and went for power rather than placement. It was a difficult angle, though, and the goalkeeper did seem to have his side of the goal covered. You never really want to let one in the near side of the post if you're a keeper, and you thought you'd go for the far post, top corner, just couldn't find it. A flag.
For Brindabella Blues coming on number 12, Zach Costantini.
So Zach Costantini is on. It looks like Jamie Taylor has gone off, and he's gone straight back into the dressing room as well. I'm not sure if that's because he's picked up a knock or just because it's cold.
I'd say probably because it's cold, let's be honest.
Ball comes across goal, and you see Chadridge lining up. He was getting ready to smack that one, but
he was getting very keen there. Had his left foot already. Yadric substitute, he'll be keen to get on the score sheet as well. Jampala, beautiful skill.
Well, I mean, there's too many players in the way, though, for his cross, and does get a corner, though. Well, down the other end, Sam Brown hasn't had much to do, and he'll be really, really disappointed with the way that goal went in. He didn't really get a chance to settle or prepare. It was just a bad back pass, and just another bad back pass there, but
it's one of those lapses in time. You don't really expect it, then when it happens, it hits you like a bullet train, just incredibly quickly. Oh, great interception from Brindabella.
Oh. And they go from distance again, and didn't get the power behind it, didn't get the height behind it, and in the end it's comfortable for the keeper. I think he saw the keeper off his line there, and it went for a cheeky one, but
And saying that they probably went for just a little bit too late. It looked like Brown had already regained his position by the time he shot. Yet again, he had a few defenders in front of him.
He had, and I mean, even if he hadn't, that effort really wasn't going to beat anybody. There's Kia. Graham.
Beautiful stuff
Backwards
from
from
Canberra.
Moragas. And, well, I thought that went in for a second there, but Moragas is the 92nd. It was a side netting.
Beautiful 1-2s there between Waters and Moragas.
And just an update from the other game as well. It seemed like it was only a minute ago that we were telling you that Woden were 1-0 up. They are now 2-0 up. 63 minutes played. Woden 2, the White Eagles 0. And if the White Eagles are to lose, then that leaves just one NPL 2 team left in the FFA Cup, and that's last year's Capital League champions, ANUFC. The White Eagles will be disappointed as well. They did just beat ANU 1-0 in the first round. A highly competitive game. And Brindabella have ANU to look forward to in their next fixture at Saturday at 3 o'clock. Canberra FC, on the other hand, they play Tuggeranong at Greenway on Sunday. That's a 3 p.m. kickoff, and they'll be live on Bar TV Sports. And it's a very, very important game for Canberra, who really want to get 3 points on the board. Playing the ball around the box nicely, Canberra FC. Just looking for an opportunity to have a crack, and ball comes straight back to them. That's a poor pass.
That's the pass Graham was looking for, that's for sure.
I mean, it was just getting... you saw a lot of those passes coming quick and fast, and I think they just got a little bit comfortable and reckless there. Now 20 minutes to go in this game. It is Canberra FC 5, Brindabella Blues 1. We've seen a hat-trick, we've seen a penalty, we've seen a howler, and we've seen a...
Keeper's coming on.
McDonald being replaced by goalkeeper Zachary James.
So Brindabella have made a substitution. They've actually subbed off their goalkeeper. Zachary James comes on for McDonald. McDonald hasn't had the greatest night, but he did make that one great save and early on in the first half, and it shows that he has great reactions. He also had a howler, but he probably shouldn't dwell on that. It's been a rough night all around for Brindabella. It's just a strange... I don't know if he got injured or if they just want to give their goalkeeper minutes, because at 5-0 down or at 5-1 down, doesn't really seem to be much point.
Lawrence did really well there to keep the ball after Yadrich and Proteshner were trying to take it off him.
This is a good spell of play there, and it's just so disappointing. The end product, the balls that they really, really need to go forward are just not happening for them. And when they get into those positions, they seem to just ruin it as quickly as they get into those positions. But then again, they're also 5-1 down and can't really expect too much. That's well intercepted. And that's a poor touch there, and it allows Moragas to get possession of the ball. That's a poor pass, but Gresper will get away with that one. I think Luka Uja, the Canberra FC manager, will be looking at his team's performance. It's overall very positive, but there are some moments in play where they have been sloppy, and against better opposition, it might not have been as straightforward for them. It certainly wasn't straightforward for them last week when they played their rivals. And I think that that game was maybe just a bit of a rude awakening. Credit to the Brindabella fans as well to the right of us. They're still vocal, still in a good mood, still pleasant.
Just enjoy watching their team. And saying what you were saying before, that's going to be an interesting race for the title this season. Olympic have already come out strong. Canberra FC with a very important showing today.
You've got Gingalan on -6 points for an age debt that they had to pay to Capital Football. We won't get too much into that, but it's just it's a very, very weird season. And with relegation happening this season as well, it's...
They have it all to play for, especially the teams that didn't fare too well last season. So Riverina, Monaro, those sort of teams, they've strengthened. I know Monaro has.
A long-range effort goes over. Well, that's right, and
with an impressive 4-1 win over Riverina on the weekend. All those sort of teams, they'll be looking to. Every team, especially, they'll be on their A game. They do not want to get relegated.
Well, I mean the team that's tipped to go up from next season, ANU FC, who have won, I think it's the last 3 titles in a row, did beat Riverina 3-0. So there are teams in the NPL second division that can hang with the teams in the NPL first division, but we'll have to wait a little while for them to get to show their stuff.
Just brings a sense of excitement, doesn't it? Just a sense of uncharted territory for these NPL clubs that have been very comfortable being where they've been for the past for who knows how long.
And anything
it
can
could be
happen as
all
well.
over.
Any team can have a bad season, a few results don't go your way, and next thing you know, you're fighting a relegation battle. Now, I don't think that's going to be Canberra FC this season, but it certainly wasn't a good start. And what we have seen is they are able to concede goals. They do have defensive mistakes in them that will need to be drilled out. But, it's still very much back Canberra FC to make finals.
I certainly have. And look at the players they've brought in as well. They've brought in Ugrinic, tops.
Well, Brindabella on a break and keeper managed to come out, and Sam Brown.
Yeah, I was about to say, just look at the players they've brought in. They've brought in Ugrinic, has been one of the top scorers for Belconnen for the past few seasons. You've got Daniel Cobaltaldo, who's been one of the top players for a while in Canberra now. The technical department here at Canberra FC have really tried hard to maintain the top team, and I'm sure they will do that this season. But just imagine being a technical director at any of these other NPL clubs this season. They'd be feeling the pressure more than anyone to bring in the best players they can and have the best players from 20s come up and have a strong squad this season, because let's be honest, they're going to, between them and the coach, they're going to be the ones that are liable if they get relegated, Isaac.
Absolutely, but we've got to play it down at the moment for Brindabella. I'm not sure if it's just cramp, but he did yell out a bit of a scream when he went down, and it looks like they are calling over to the bench. It looks like he is going to have to come off. I mean, he's down holding his knee. We have to hope that it's hopefully not an ACL. Hopefully it's just, a slight knock or a little bit of a twinge, and the player's going to be okay. But yeah, as you were saying before, Canberra FC have strengthened, but maybe that was their undoing in the first game. They're just still learning each other. They're still learning to play together and gelling together. And today we've seen some good signs of that. They're starting to get to know each other a bit more. Another Brindabella player, go down, but I think he's got cramp, and player is back to his feet and running as well, so that's a good sign. But they were worried for a second.
Less than 15 minutes to go now. It is also still 2-0 with Woden Western leading over the White Eagles over at Melrose Park. Melrose Synthetic, sorry.
Subasic on the ball. Plays another 1-2 with his central defensive partner. Brindabella not pressing at all. Graham. Ugrinic. Some good football there, and they are starting to gel together a bit more. Just even in the space of this 90 minutes, we've seen them combine a bit better than they did in the first half, and as the season goes on, they're going to just continue to get better and do that.
Well, they still have the majority of their core are all the players that have played together, but like I said, you've got those,
Every now and again you have another player or two comes in, and it can not so much disturb the rhythm, but take them a while to adapt to the team that they've come to, so...
I was about to say, it's more the little things now for Canberra FC. Like I said, their fitness looks to be top-notch today, always first to the ball, defensively, attacking-wise. That's always very positive. It's always the simple little things that matter. And if Canberra FC can keep this up, along with gelling, they will definitely be competing this season. It's safe to say. You would think.
It'll be very interesting to see how they go against Tuggeranong. That game will be played at Greenway at 3 o'clock on Sunday. Tuggeranong versus Canberra FC. That game will be live on Bar TV Sports, so be sure to check it out. It's a big game for both teams. It's early on, but Canberra FC really, really need the 3 points, and to start off the season with 2 losses, it will just be a disaster for them, especially a team with their expectations, their standards, and their ambition.
It certainly will, and I'm pretty sure it's safe to say it'll be a little warmer at Greenway. For those of you who are watching tonight that want to come out and support Canberra FC against Tuggeranong in their
Well,
away
hopefully the sun
fixture.
will be out, Matt.
Always gets more people to the game as well, the sun, so
Oh, he's gone down again, holding his knee again, and
that did not look good.
no. And I think that he's going to have to come off. And he's not on the team sheet either, Matthew.
At least not his number, isn't?
So,
He's gotten up now.
and he is
Number
limping.
9.
I mean, we heard the announcer when the goalkeeper was changed that I think the goalkeeper has a number. So when they announced it over the PA, they said number 1 McDonald being replaced by goalkeeper Zachary James. So I think a little bit slack there with the team sheet.
Either that or a late change.
Yeah. Well, he's wearing the number 1 jersey as well. So I think that'll do it. That was a poor pass, and Brindabella have a chance to have a rare attack. Yeah, they've actually been linking up okay in attack. So that final ball where they've struggled.
Terrific interception there from Gersberg.
Oh, that's a wonderful tackle. Let's let the ball go out just to keep it at his feet and clear it, but only goes as far as another Canberra FC player. And once again, Canberra FC just pushing forward. Yadrich does well to get away. Gianpaolo goes back to Graham.
Terrific timing there from Brindabella defensively.
Yadrich. Uganic. Gianpaolo to Moragas, and oh, it's not the greatest clearance. Just sliced the ball backwards, allowing the pressure to continue. This is Moragas loses the ball, but once again it comes back to a Canberra FC player. It's Graham. Graham again! Oh, that's a rocket straight into the top corner. The initial shot was blocked and the Brindabella defender stayed down. It came back to Graham, who just smacked that one into the top corner. And it's 6-1 to Canberra FC.
Under 9 minutes to play. What an absolute stellar goal from Graham. Absolutely incredible, because you saw that first shot, you're just like, yep, he's going for it. He's going for it. Didn't get it the first time, he got it the second time, though. He'll be very happy with that strike, and he'll be happy to get on the score sheet again. That's his second goal of the game, is it not?
No, it's his first. It's Graham's first, yes.
Oh, sorry, that was Ugrinic in the first half. He'll be very happy to go on the score sheet. That's not his first long-range effort this game, especially in the first half. He had a few saved.
Playing Tuggeranong on Sunday at 3 p.m. Greenway Oval, round 2 of the NPL competition.
It was a wonderful strike, and Graham's seen a lot of the ball today in that midfield area. He's dropped back, he's gone forward, he's linked up play, he's played very, very well.
We'd like to see some terrific goals today.
Oh, well, that's what you want from your captain as well, isn't it? So.
Leading by example.
And there have been some terrific goals as Uganic looks to move forward and get his second. It's deflected out for a corner.
He was looking to get his long-range effort.
Yeah, well, he got his in the first half, but
His second long-range effort, should I say.
Yeah.
First of the second half. Couldn't get any cleaner strike, though, could you?
no,
Honestly.
it got his laces on it and it just flew into the top corner. I mean, sometimes you do see that, you know, the player will have a strike, it'll come back to them, they'll be rolling, they'll be bouncing at just the right height, and it'll be perfect for them to put their laces through it. That's exactly what he did. Feel bad for the poor defender that got whacked the first time, though, and stayed on the ground. And then he thinks he made a great block, he turns around and he sees the ball in the top corner.
Especially with this weather, it would have been even worse.
Yeah.
It would have hurt more. Graham on the ball again, bringing it out wide to Ugrinic.
Gianpaolo's out there. On the right-hand side.
Seemed to be stationed on the right-hand side this past 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, he's been drifting quite a bit.
Seems to be his, Seems to be
Graham
his
again,
permanent position.
Dadrich. Uganic has returned in the middle. There's 2 options in the middle for him, 3 now.
Possession with the ball now, loses it.
Loses it and
back to it.
gets it back. It's just so much quicker and so much more physical.
FFA, in saying that, even though it hasn't been the greatest night for Brindabella, I have been impressed with FFA, but I'd say his timing has probably been the best out of all the Brindabella defenders. And his quality has shown as a seen from the majority of Canberra's attacks down the right-hand side in this half. Most of them come from the left or through the centre in this half anyway.
Well, he's getting a lot of practice. For those of you interested in what's happening in the other game, the White Eagles have got a goal back. There is just over 10 minutes left in that game. Woden lead the White Eagles 2-1. Brindabella make their way down the left-hand side, but he's got absolutely no support. Does get a throw in, though, and a chance for Brindabella to push forward.
Head straight down there from Jonathan Toole. He was not happy. He did not have any support there.
I think they're just tired as well. I think that it's hard to get the motivation to run up forward when you're down 6-1 and there's just over 5 minutes to go. I'd be very, very surprised. I know there's been some stoppages, there's been a few substitutions, players gone down injured, but I'd be surprised if the referee opts to play any more than 1 or 2 minutes of at a time because, I mean, I can imagine that he's not really feeling the cold, but he might not see that there's much point. But that's a wonderful ball. The offside flag stayed down. That's very, very well defended.
Interesting from Ugrinic there. He couldn't get his foot in between the ball enough.
No, but you would have backed him there as well from that position.
He looked like he was off. It looked like he was off and running there. It was very interesting. He couldn't get control of that ball. And saying that, though, Brindabella defender did well to keep Ugrinic off the ball there, with the opportunity he had, of course.
Gianpaolo linking up well with Moragas. Graham. So I had to go back out the left side. Gianpaolo. I know it was Moragas that was man of the match after the first half, but I think that given the entire 9 minutes is almost up, it's probably got to be Gianpaolo. Not just because he scored a hat-trick, but he's just been everywhere, linking up play, linking up with everybody. A long-range effort there, straight down the throat of the keeper.
Like I said, Isaac, it's very hard to ignore a hat-trick, but it is also very hard to ignore a player who has been drifting from left to right to the centre, to dropping deep and creating play. This entire second half has been majority of Gianpaolo. It's been a very, very impressive performance, especially in the second half with a hat-trick.
And clearly match fit as well, this early in the season. So, I mean, if you're Luka Udja, you've got to be happy with one of your main men. And he's shown that he can play in more than one position as well.
And if you are the Canberra Sea coach, you're just happy that you've bounced back this positively, this aggressively, this intently.
Well, it's the kind of push and buzz that you want going into a big game against Tuggeranong, away from home in Greenway, although that's a bad mistake there. And
Organis was just expecting the ball to his feet right away. Didn't anticipate that play very well.
I mean, they couldn't release the ball fast enough, Brindabella, to get it forward. But they still have it now, and that's a heavy, heavy touch running forward.
Just a solid challenge there from Waters. It didn't seem like he wasn't going to win that.
No, and he gave him plenty of time to get there too. I mean, just tried to knock the ball too far ahead of him and build up a head of steam. He was better off dribbling it. And now he's gone down, Joshua Gunther. He's up and limping. There's a few Brindabella players limping. I mean, there's only 3 or so minutes left in the game. You'd think that at this stage of the game, don't take too many risks. If you're both teams, just try and get all your players out and, oh no, Gunther's gone down again. But not sure if he's going to be okay to continue, but at this late stage, not sure if there's any point making a change. And well, a few of our spectators hopping the fence behind us to get out. It might be a quicker way home for them. I mean, I don't think they're going to be anticipating any traffic, though. You sometimes see that in other stadiums. I will say this about Brindabella. Zach Lawrence down the left-hand side has been very, very impressive. He's had a great touch. He's been probably the most dangerous player. Everything seems to have gone through him. He looks absolutely erect as well, doesn't he?
He certainly does. He has been good this game. Lawrence will be disappointed, though, that he hasn't really gotten too much action down his side of the field. In saying that, though, like you said, whenever he's gotten the ball, he has done very well with it.
Well, and if we're if we could just focus our attention to the Woden game just for a second to give you an update. An absolute screamer there to make it 3-1. It looked like Canberra White Eagles had a chance of coming back. It was 2-1. They were 2-0 down. They brought it back to 2-1. But in the 84th minute, Woden Valley have scored a third and lead 3-1 with about 6 minutes remaining. So it looks like ANUFC will be the only NPL 2 team to go through to the next round. It'll be interesting to see who they draw. I wouldn't mind seeing them play Canberra FC, actually, champions of the Capital League versus the champions of the NPL, just to see what the gap really is. No,
it certainly would be an interesting matchup. And you know what? I don't think if you're ANU, you would obviously you don't want to play one of the best teams in the league. But in saying that, though, deep down you would want to know how can you go against the champions of the top division, especially if that's where you want to be at the end of next season.
And where you're most likely going to be based on the results of last season.
Exactly, deep down.
And the season before that and the season before that.
I mean, deep down you always want easier competition, but at the end of the day, you'd think they would want to challenge themselves against a team like Canberra FC.
And if it goes awfully wrong for them, then they're just going to end up in the same place they were before, aren't they? Another Brindabella player has gone down, and Canberra FC just taking shots from distance now. I mean, we've just kind of waiting on the referee now to blow the final whistle. Game's been over for a little while now, and a good performance from Canberra FC. They will be happy. Brindabella gave a decent account of themselves, a decent showing. It's not been a great result for them, but they've had some positives to take from there, and they've had some good chances. Linked up well, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them be decent this season in the NPL too. But Canberra FC just a class above.
Canberra FC truly showed their champions caliber today. They were just very classy, from keeping possession to attacking down the wings, trying to bring it through the middle, switching play, even winning the ball back. They're always first to the ball. It's just they truly have just been a class above today, and their goals as well have just been absolute quality from Canberra FC. Proteshner with the pass. It's over.
That's it. Referee blows for full time. And Canberra FC, unsurprisingly, are into the next round of the FFA Cup here at Deakin Stadium in front of their home fans. I mean, not too many people turned out to see them. Quite a few people turned out to see Brindabella, and it was good to see them get their support. But at the end of the day, the quality showed, the difference showed, and I think that the result that we were all expecting ended up happening in the end. I mean, Brindabella Blues actually started off quite strongly, defending well, but Uganic, with a long-range effort, dipped over the keeper. I mean, we'd have to go back and have a look at the goal again to see if the keeper could do anything about it, but at the time it didn't really look like he could. Before Moragas, Lucas Moragas has just been absolutely phenomenal playing down the left-hand side all game. He got his goal, and then he ended up winning the penalty as well for Gianpaolo to score his first right before the end of the first half. Gianpaolo came out swinging in the second half, scored 2 goals very, very early on to get his hat-trick before Ian Graham put a rocket into the top corner. Although in between that, Brindabella Blues did get a goal of their own, a really, really bad defensive error from Canberra FC, which they'll be really disappointed about. Meant that they didn't get their clean sheet, but at the end of the day, it was a fairly comprehensive performance. And in the corresponding game, just before we leave you, with 5 minutes to go, Woden are leading the White Eagles by 3 goals to 1. So at this stage, it looks like that ANUFC are the only NPL 2 team left in the FFA Cup. And if we just go through the teams that are left, Gingalan United, Belconnen United, it looks like Woden Western, Tuggeranong, Canberra Olympic, ANUFC, Cooma Tigers, and now Canberra FC. The final score here at Deakin Stadium, Canberra FC 6, Brindabella Blues 1.